boost your immune system, burn more fat, develop iron discipline. You've heard all the claims, and influencers swear by them. But as a scientist, I can tell you that most of the hype around cold showers is just that. Hype. But there is one scientifically proven benefit that is so powerful it can fundamentally change your day. And it's definitely not what you think. For decades, we've been told that a blast of cold water is a cure-all for modern ailments. The Stoics praised it for building mental fortitude. Your grandparents probably said it builds character. And today, wellness gurus preach its gospel from ice-filled barrels on social media. The story is compelling. Endure a few minutes of shivering to unlock a new level of human performance. It's a seductive idea, blending ancestral wisdom with modern biohacking. But what does science actually say? When we strip away the anecdotes and the tough guy posturing, what's left? That's what we're going to find out. We're going to put every major claim under the microscope, look at the hard data, and separate fact from fiction. And in the end, I'll reveal the one benefit that science overwhelmingly supports. A benefit that has less to do with your immune system or body fat, and everything to do with the chemistry of your brain. Stick with me, because the truth is far more interesting than the hype. Part 1. Acknowledging the hype. The Big Three. Claims. Before we get into the science, let's address the giant, ice-covered elephant in the room. The three huge claims that have pushed cold showers into the mainstream. These are the promises you see all over the internet, and the reasons most people even think about turning that dial to blue. First, the idea of an impenetrable immune system. This is probably the most popular claim. The theory is that by shocking your system with a cold, you're training your immune cells, making them stronger and better at fighting off invaders. Influencers tell stories of going entire winters without a sniffle, all thanks to their daily cold plunge. They might mention the famous Iceman, Wim Hof, and his seemingly superhuman ability to fend off illness. It creates a simple, powerful message. A cold shower a day keeps the doctor away. Second on our list is accelerated fat loss. This one sounds almost too good to be true. The theory is that cold exposure forces your body to burn extra calories to stay warm by activating something called brown fat. Unlike the regular white fat that stores energy, brown fat is metabolically active and burns energy to create heat. The pitch is simple: freeze yourself thin. It transforms the cold shower from a wellness practice into a weight loss tool. And third, the claim of forging an iron will, or unbreakable discipline. This benefit is more psychological, but it's just as appealing. The argument is that by repeatedly doing something you dread, you're exercising your willpower muscle. Each cold shower is a small victory over your comfort-seeking self, and over time, this daily act of courage is supposed to make you more disciplined and mentally tougher in all areas of your life. It frames the cold shower not as a chore, but as a crucible for character. These three claims, superhuman immunity, effortless fat loss, and monk-like discipline, are the holy trinity of cold shower marketing. They're powerful and appealing. But are they true? Part 2. The scientist's investigation. Debunking the myths. Okay, this is where we get serious and look at what the science actually says. I'm not interested in what feels true or what sounds good. I'm interested in what can be measured and tested. Let's start with myth number 1, the immune system boost. The cornerstone of this claim often comes from a single, widely cited Dutch study. This large trial found that participants who took a daily cold shower for 30 days had a 29% reduction in self-reported sickness absence from work. A 29% reduction. That sounds amazing, and it's the statistic you hear everywhere. But this is a classic case of the headline hiding the real story. Here's the crucial detail. The study measured sickness absence, not the actual number of days people were sick. In fact, the researchers found no difference in the number of illness days between the groups. Let me say that again. People taking cold showers did not get sick less often. So what happened? The study's authors suggest the effect might be more psychological. The jolt of the shower may have made people feel more energetic, so even if they felt a bit under the weather, they were more likely to push through and go to work. So while cold showers might make you less likely to call in sick, the evidence that they actually prevent illness is weak. A recent systematic review from 2025 found no significant effects on immune function immediately or 1 hour after cold water immersion, and noted that the evidence for longer-term immunity benefits is still inconclusive. Now for myth number 2, the fat-burning machine. This myth revolves around activating brown fat. And scientifically, the basic idea is sound. Cold exposure does activate brown fat to generate heat, and this process does burn calories. The problem isn't the mechanism, it's the amount. Studies have found that brief immersions in cold water can increase your metabolic rate, but the caloric burn is surprisingly small. We're talking about an extra 70 to 80 calories. To put that in perspective, that's about the same as a single apple. While every little bit might count, the idea that a few minutes of shivering will lead to significant weight loss is a massive overstatement. There's just no large-scale evidence showing that cold showers lead to any real change on the bathroom scale. If weight loss is your goal, you'll get a far bigger impact from a 20-minute walk. Finally, myth number 3, the iron will discipline hack. This one is trickier because it's a subjective psychological claim. Does forcing yourself to do something difficult build discipline? Intuitively, it feels right. But we have to be careful. Is it the cold shower itself that's building discipline, or is it the act of adopting any new, challenging habit? You could likely get a similar effect by committing to waking up 30 minutes earlier or meditating for 10 minutes every day. The cold shower is just a very memorable way to practice that commitment. There's no special discipline molecule that's only released by cold water. In fact, by framing it as this brutal test of willpower, many people try it once, hate it, and quit, feeling like they've failed. That can actually be counterproductive to building good habits. So, the evidence for a direct immune boost is misinterpreted. The fat loss claims are technically true but practically insignificant. And the discipline benefit isn't unique to cold showers. So why do so many smart people, from neuroscientists to elite athletes, swear by this practice? The answer isn't in your fat cells or your immune system. It's in your brain. All right, we've just busted some of the biggest myths out there. If you're finding this scientific deep dive valuable and want to keep cutting through the health and wellness hype, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel and makes sure you won't miss our future investigations. Now, let's get to the real reason you're here, the one benefit that the science truly backs up. Part 3, the revelation, the dopamine and norepinephrine powerhouse. This is the core of our entire discussion. This is the one scientifically proven benefit I promised. It's not a subtle effect or a minor tweak. It's a massive and prolonged shift in your brain's neurochemistry. Specifically, we're talking about 2 key molecules, norepinephrine and dopamine. Let's break it down. When your body is hit with a sudden stressor, like a blast of cold water, it kicks off a classic survival response. Your fight or flight system goes into overdrive, and your brain floods with neurochemicals designed to make you alert, focused, and ready for action. The first and most immediate player is norepinephrine. You feel its effects in seconds. It's that jolt, that feeling of sudden, sharp clarity that pulls you out of any mental fog. This release is significant. Studies have shown that cold water immersion can cause a huge spike in norepinephrine, with some research noting increases of up to 530%. That's not a little boost. It's a tidal wave of the very molecule your brain uses for focus. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. This stress response also triggers the release of another powerful neuromodulator, dopamine. Dopamine is often called the pleasure molecule, but it's more accurate to call it the molecule of motivation, drive, and focus. Research highlighted by neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman has shown the profound effect of cold exposure on dopamine. One study showed that cold water immersion can lead to a 250% increase in dopamine levels above baseline. That is a massive increase. But here's the critical difference that makes cold exposure so uniquely healthy. Unlike other things that spike dopamine, which often cause a sharp rise followed by a steep crash below your baseline, The dopamine increase from cold exposure is different. It rises more gradually, and most importantly, it's sustained. After you get out of the shower, your dopamine levels don't crash. They remain elevated for hours, creating a lasting positive effect on your mood and focus. This is the real secret. People assume the benefit is the feeling of bravery during the shower, but the real measurable benefit happens after. You step out of the water and lasts for a significant part of your day. You are changing your brain's chemical environment to be biased towards focus, motivation, and an elevated mood for hours without the crash. This is leveraging your body's ancient survival circuits to optimize your modern brain. That is the true, science-backed superpower of cold showers. Part 4. The so what? Practical implications for your day. Okay, a 250% sustained increase in dopamine sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean for your real life? Let's translate the neuroscience into everyday advantages. Think about the feeling you're chasing with your morning coffee. You're looking for alertness, clarity, and motivation. A cold shower's neurochemical cocktail delivers exactly that, but in a cleaner, more sustainable way. The wave of norepinephrine is an instant shot of focus, wiping away the last bit of sleepiness. Then comes the sustained dopamine. This isn't the jittery, anxious energy you can get from too much caffeine. It's a calm, clear-headed drive. For the first few hours of your day, your brain is literally bathed in the molecule that governs focus and motivation. This can translate into a much better ability to do deep work, resist distractions, and stay on task. You start your day with a brain that is chemically primed to be productive. Beyond productivity, this has huge implications for your mood. A higher baseline of dopamine contributes to a better overall mood and a feeling of well-being. It can act as a buffer against the minor frustrations of the day. Because you started your day by tackling a challenge and have the neurochemical reward to show for it, other challenges seem less daunting. This is how you build real stress resilience. You're not just practicing mental toughness, you're changing your physiology to make you feel more capable. And best of all, there's no crash. The effect gently tapers off over several hours, providing a smooth, stable platform of energy and mood. This makes it an incredibly powerful tool for managing your state of mind naturally. It's a way to take direct control over your neurobiology and set the tone for your entire day. Part 5. The how-to, a safe and scientific protocol. If you're convinced and want to try this, it's critical that you do it safely. The goal is to stimulate your system, not shock it into an emergency. Here's a simple, science-backed way to start. First, temperature and duration. You need water that is uncomfortably cold, but you don't need an ice bath. For most people, water around 10 to 15 degrees is 50 to 60 degrees is plenty. If your shower doesn't get that cold, just use its coldest setting. As for duration, more is not better. You're trying to trigger a response, not risk hypothermia. The science suggests that benefits can kick in with as little as 30 seconds to 3 minutes. A great place to start is to end your normal warm shower with just 30 seconds of cold water. It's manageable, less scary, and it's enough to work. The most important thing is gradual adaptation. Don't go from 0 to a 3-minute ice shower on day 1. Try 30 seconds of cold for a week. The next week, maybe push it to 45 seconds or a minute. Letting your body adapt is crucial for safety and for making the habit stick. A critical safety warning: if you have any pre-existing cardiovascular conditions like high blood pressure or a heart condition, you must talk to your doctor before trying any form of cold therapy. The sudden constriction of blood vessels can be a major strain on your heart. This is not something to take lightly. Finally, when you're starting out, focus on your breathing. When the cold hits, your instinct is to tense up and gasp. Your job is to override that. Take long, controlled exhales. This signals to your nervous system that you are in control, even under stress. That practice alone is powerful training for resilience. Conclusion. So, what's the bottom line? We started by wading through the hype, the promises of a bulletproof immune system, a fat-melting metabolism, and the willpower of a Spartan. And we saw that when you hold these claims up to the light faders of science, much of it melts away. Cold showers are not a miracle cure. They won't make you immune to disease, and they won't magically shed pounds of fat. A 2025 systematic review did find that cold water immersion could reduce stress and improve quality of life, with some of these benefits lasting for at least 30 days in studies. However, the same review noted that there was limited or inconclusive evidence to support claims about boosting long-term immunity or mood. But that doesn't mean they're useless. Far from it. The true scientifically backed power of a cold shower is its profound and sustained impact on your brain's chemistry. It's one of the most effective natural ways to intentionally increase your baseline levels of dopamine and norepinephrine, the key neurochemicals for focus, motivation, and mood, for hours on end. It's a tool that allows you to take direct control of your mental state, setting you up for a day of enhanced focus and resilience. So, are cold showers worth it? If you're looking for a mythical cure-all, then no, you'll be disappointed. But if you see it for what it is, a potent, science-backed tool for optimizing your brain's performance and building real resilience, then the answer is a definitive yes. It's not a hack. It's a deliberate practice, rooted in the ancient biology of how our bodies respond to and overcome stress. And now, I want to turn the question over to you. What's the wildest claim you've ever heard about cold showers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. Thanks for watching.